world. This is Zal, and we are going to have a tutorial series on the Warcraft 3 editor. This first episode will be just about the basic layout of the editor and how to edit the terrain. So, the first thing you want to go and do is go New Map, and then choose the size of your map. For this map, it's going to be 128 by 128. And then choose the default tile set, initial cliff level, and if you want water or not. And we're going to choose no for this one. Okay, so now you're in the editor. You got your basic map set up. So, you got menus up here that allow you to do many different things. Like new maps, open maps, save map as, export scripts, strings. You can open maps that you've had before, like I had a Harlem Shake map. You can test the map. You can exit. Edit is a lot of the basic edit functions. View lets you view different things. I can turn the grid on and off and on, so you can just see the map. Layer lets you see different layers of the map. Scenario, there's different map description, options, size and bounds, map loading screen, map preferences. There's tools, which are used with the terrain editing. There's advanced, which you can modify constants and interface. And we'll do that in this tutorial just later on. Module, there's different editors you can be in. Window, you can have multiple maps open at once. And help. And then down here you got new map, open map, save map, cut, copy, paste, undo, redo, selection brush, which is what we got. Terrain editor, trigger editor, sound editor, object editor, campaign editor, AI editor, object manager, import manager, and test map. So now if we want to make some basic terrain, we're going to start out by getting the terrain palette and using the increase one cliff option. I'm going to be able to create a nice little cliff here for one of the bases on the map that we're going to create. And we'll create 4, because we're going to make a 4-player map. So we'll create 4 little islands for bases to be set up in. Okay, now we'll create some ramps by selecting the ramp button. We'll give a way for troops to get in and out of the bases, if it'll work. Sometimes it doesn't want to work. It's derping. It's derping. Let's see if it'll work now. There we go. So now I have a way to get in and out of the base. I'll put one over here too. If it'll work. There's an option you can select that makes this easier. Well, they'll be able to get up and down that. So we'll go ahead and do that for the other bases, if it'll work. It's being a pain in the ass. Sometimes the editor is a little derp, but most of the time it'll work right. can always hit Control Z if you make a mistake. I find myself hitting it quite a bit. It's just the basics of the terrain editor. Bullshit. Okay, so we got our bases with our ramps. So now we'll put some trees in. We're going to switch to the doodad palette, and then it automatically goes to the tree object. And we'll just put some in. A good amount. All the bases need trees. So now we'll work on making a unique center for the map. So I think what we'll do is we will create some water. Make a big pond in the map, in the middle of the map. And then get some deep water. We'll make a spring in the middle of the map by increasing the level by 2, and then putting some deep water inside of it. And then we'll try to get the water out. So that creates, by trying to get the water out of the center, creates a glitch, which is right here. And the water is actually a cliff tile in this particular setup. So now, we glitched the water to look like a waterfall. Now I can go to the water doodad palette, and we can get a waterfall to put in there. Just one. And we can put another one on the side. And you just hit Z to scroll through different options. I don't like that one being there. Just try to get the right one here. Okay, and so now our map has a nice little spring in the middle. So we'll make some more ramps leading to that. And really, making a good terrain is all about just making a basic terrain at first, and then going back and really just hammering it out, trying different things. Really just playing with the editor and, screwing around with it can help you become a lot better at it. I've probably spent a couple, I don't know, maybe like a year worth of time in this editor. So yeah, so that's a nice little spring. I might move this by selecting it. Do the doodad palette and select this waterfall. We'll move it in a little bit. And then we can put maybe a rowboat out there, some seaweed. I'm not on top of the rowboat. Put some bubbles out there, and there's all kinds of different doodads, and they're categorized in which tile set they're from. But it doesn't matter what tile set you're in currently, you can use any tile set you want. So, border on summer, cinematic, I think there's smoke smudge. Put some smudges of smoke on top of the, and maybe a little bit of a fire. And a fire small up here on top of the fountain. Okay, and then create some get some trees going here using the doodad palette, and we'll just fill up the rest of the map with trees. Trees can be really useful in making the maps. You can always come back and edit this later by using the selection tool and just group a bunch of trees and press delete to get rid of them. Okay, there's just 2 more sides to do. Okay, so now that we got that, there's one more option to the terrain palette, which is to apply height. And so you can raise land so that it's no longer in the water, or you can lower land so it's even farther in the water. Maybe I won't be able to lower that. You can lower it back in the water. You can use this if you have an entire map that's all water. You can use this to create a patch of water and then have islands that come out of the water. But you have to have the entire map be water if you want to do that. Make a ramp. So yeah. So probably, and then you can also apply textures to the map. So you can put some rockway in, which I will probably do. So we'll apply this texture between the bases. Okay, so that's a rockway path between the bases. Now we can create some patches of grassy dirt, which just appear randomly to give some variation to the map. And the more random you are in your mapping, the more natural it will seem. The more uniform things are, the less natural they seem. But uniform is good for building cities and things like that. Okay, now there's an advanced option that allows you to, let's see, enforce water height limits. You can turn that off, and that allows you to create even more fountains, pretty sure. Yeah, that really allows you to create what we end up getting is a blob of water instead of a hole in the cliff itself. And you can just go ahead and put waterfalls on that. Create another little fountain. Pressing Z here to get the different options. Okay. It's another fountain. So now I need some more doodads. So we can go and say, okay, environment. We'll put some weed out there. How about we put some wheat bunches out there in a different spot? And we'll put rocks in another spot. Some lily pads. So that's the basics of terraining. You just use the terrain palette and the doodad palette to do so. So now we'll probably want to make our 4 bases. Like 1, 2, 3, and 4. And that's it for now. This is all your host.